how did you start to have that CEO mindset? And how much of that would you attribute to the success of the business now?
That's a good question. I think there's maybe a couple factors. One was just like looking at all of the things that I was doing and realizing like I was spending a lot of my brain space on the things that if I trained someone else, they could be making some of those decisions or executing on some of those things so that I could have more brain space on other things. And some of it was necessity, just realizing like, okay, I either need to walk away from this entirely or I need to change in a dramatic way how things are going. And then two, it was identifying like what things do I enjoy? What things do I like working on? And what things make it feel sustainable for me to keep going in this? And realizing that I do, when I have the time and the energy for it, I do like the building programs and building a network. I came in to the town I live in, moved here without knowing really anyone and built a network and a referral network fairly quickly enough to start my business and then kept snowballing it. I enjoy that process when I have the time to do it and have the ability to spend time on doing it well versus just feeling like it's falling through the cracks. So kind of looking at all the different things I was doing and be like, okay, if I'm going to keep doing this, I need to be working on the things that I'm really good at and the things that I enjoy doing. And that is going to mean setting some things down and passing some things off or letting some things go. And I'm actually I had that conversation and realization with myself 5 years ago. And then last week, one of my colleagues who also runs a training business in a different state, and we meet, every so often to kind of just be each other's, peers and support system. And she was like, you're doing too much. You need to write down what are the things that you enjoy doing so you can, and I'm like, oh, right. I've done this before. I need to do it again. I think so. Again, it's that constant evolving relationship that is important with what you're doing. It's so easy, especially for us as founders of businesses, to just feel like we have to keep taking things on and keep adding it to our plate. And it's requires constant work and reevaluation of okay, is this the best use of my time to be doing this? Or would I be helping the business more if I was spending time on this thing that then opened up these possibilities for the business? And I think that's for me what the CEO mindset that you referenced kind of means. And that's, I don't know how I arrived at it, but I don't want it to sound like I'm, operating as a CEO every second of every day, because I easily get sucked back into the things that are in a different category as well.
Yeah, no, that answers that brilliantly. And I think for us, something that's really helped is separating out, like you say, is this a good use of my time? But kind of separating all the tasks into £10 tasks, £100 tasks, £1,000 tasks. So for you, kind of what you alluded to was your connection and you're building something bigger is that's where the £1,000 tasks are, and that's where your focus should be. And the £10 tasks, those are the things you can outsource. They're as important, but they're not an important role for you, because that's not going to move the business forward. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say,
even though I can quickly say I can take on 10 £10 tasks.
Oh yeah,
no problem.
We do this. We have been so guilty of doing this. Yeah,
it is. It's so easy.
Just tweak the website because I can do it, and it will take and you've said to me, no, let the guy who sorts that out do that, and I'm like, okay. But it's a really hard thing to stop yourself from doing, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had to really smack
reined me in.
Be stop it. This is why we have Peter. he can go and do all of this stuff. And she's like, but by the time, basically it comes down to, I can't be bothered to brief somebody else when I could just do it myself. So actually it comes from a lazy perspective rather than anything else.
Lazy, but I'm willing to do the work there and then. So it's not lazy really, is it? It's kind of just, But I understand it, and I know that really in the long run, that's the best thing, because once he's been shown once, he can just do it again and again if it's needed. You know?
Right.
So,
No, it is hard to let go. And I think it is, I geek out so much on like this business journey and this lifestyle that we all go through, because it fascinates me and it amazes me, but it doesn't, because I know the journey we all go on, because we're going through it, we've been through it, and you evolve so much, don't you, as a business owner? You go in from being that scrappy little dog trainer initially that's like, yay, I just love dogs and this is amazing and I love consuming all the knowledge, and now I want to go and help other people. And then you start by just taking on a handful of clients, and then before you know it, you're like, oh shit, I'm now like this accidental business owner here that I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I think for a lot of us, that's when that burnout can come in, because we're not operating by a plan. And I think a plan scares a lot of us as well, because we're thinking, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to diversify into puppies from reactivity or whatever it is, or I don't know if I want to run a team. I don't know if I want to push past a certain earning threshold so I don't have to pay more tax, or I don't even want to, like, that's not me. That's not how I identify.
Yeah, it's like facing up to the big decisions that they're probably trying to avoid in the most part. Because I think I did for many years.
Yeah. It's and again, I think we're surrounded by it. It's almost like, I think you mentioned at the start of this podcast, like we are almost encouraged to believe that it's a hobby. It's not a
business.
Yeah. Because I mean, for many years it was like, for at least in my early exposure, you know, kind of growing up in the industry, like I knew several dog trainers who, you know, when I was early on, like I only knew of those, I knew one who it was her full-time job. And then the other ones were like, yeah, I have a full-time job, or I work at a vet and I do this on the side, or I, you know, am a groomer and I do this on the side, and nothing wrong with that if that's, but it wasn't, at least in my corner of the world, like something that for many years people did full-time until much more recently.